Hello. Today we're talking about everything you need to know about engagement photos. I'm Jaeger, a wedding photographer from Photo17.com, the online home of Carolina's photography, and we also do video as well. Coming to you today with another article from Brides.com that I just enjoy scouring and talking about. Scouring. Easy for me to say. This article, everything you need to know about engagement photos, you can look there to read it. I'm going to go over it. An article by Stephanie Vermillion. Hopefully I'm not butchering your name too much. Molly King also is the photographer they talked to in this. She's a Cincinnati-based wedding and lifestyle photographer, much like I am a South Carolina-based lifestyle wedding photographer, even though most people travel nowadays. So is anybody based? Really? I guess you do have a home base and then you travel. Anyway, that's a conversation for something totally else. The reason I'm bringing up this article, though, is because I kind of agree with about every point that was made in it. First and foremost, it's time to really set up the tone to feel your relationship, what it's going to be like with your photographer. If you get a photographer who's also going to be doing the wedding photography, and a lot of people have packages that will include wedding photography. So it's likely your relationship is going to go from the engagement photos, the bridal session, to the wedding. That's generally the flow that things go. Of course, we can change it around here and there. You can change it here around there. It's your day is all about you, man. And one man. So whatever you decide to do. One of the first things to go over is going to be, well, just how much do engagement photos generally cost? On average, between $300 to $600 for a 90-minute session. My prices on that definitely fluctuates. I always kind of have it inside of a wedding package, so I don't generally just do engagement photos and disappear. I think I've literally only done that one time for a friend whose wedding was coming up literally on my birthday, and that's not the reason I didn't take the wedding gig. I don't know. There was something going on there besides it being my birthday. I would love to work on my birthday. Actually, that would be fun to me because I like this job. I gave it to myself and I like what I do. But I think that's definitely the only time I've ever done engagement photos was once in 14, going on 15 years where I also didn't do the wedding. So I do have the price kind of broken down on what it would be individually, but I never really got too deep into it just because that's just me. But generally $300 to $600 per a 90-minute session, give or take. Of course, all that can fluctuate depending on who your photographer is. And speaking of which, how to choose a photographer. Choosing wedding engagement photographer really comes down to two things I agree with here from this article: editing style and personality. You might not know exactly what editing style is, but you definitely know if your personalities vibe, jibe, and click together. Those are my words there, even though it sounds like I'm reading. But you definitely know when you got the right fit. No questions about that. Of course, you can go by friends recommendations, name value, or name recommendation. Well, yeah, that is the phrase. I was trying to say name recognition, not recommendation, but name recognition is super huge in any service industry. Definitely photography is no exception to that. Some people do amidst portraits and candidates formal poses. And of course, the editing style can come out in the edit. Some have a brand that they stick to. You know, a lot of earth tones and colors are still very popular. I do like that. That is not an editing style I generally go to for people, but I've used that style before in street photography. Color palettes definitely could play a part in the brand. Mine is always leaning filmic. No matter what, I am kind of coming from the era of film cameras when that was dominant, which I guess is 100 years. I got 100 years to draw off of there. So I know that look will look good many years down the road. That type of vibe and filmic, cinematic sort of, which is weird to say in still shots of photography, but it is sort of cinematic shots, shooting through things, foreground, midground, background shots, blurring edges. I don't think it's gimmicky to have lens flares and filters. Some might, but it would be things that film would have. That is definitely the vibe I go to, and we'll just straight up do a nice photo too without all of that. And every shot isn't grainy to the hill. So I have many areas of wiggle room for me personally on that, but that is what we mean when we say editing style, what those photos will look like. Hopefully I explained that a-okay. Some photographers have a dark contrast filled images, others go light airy, and the ethereal styles, as I've tried to pronounce that. One nice tip to choose your favorite photo style, go with what you're drawn to. What are you drawn to on Instagram, on Facebook, or anywhere else you see photos, art museums? Because yes, there is an art style, photography style, that is just high art. It is a style that you can get that is very, very effects heavy, where you can just take different layers of photos and combine them and merge them. For some reason, I'm drawing a blank on what that's called. I have never done that with a couple because that is so specifically an artful choice. That is a very hardcore artful choice, and you really got to be about that to even know about that. So compositing, that's what I'm trying to say, compositing photos, things of that nature, but it can be done. Also, as they say in this article, just go with what you think will look good on your wall when you get your pictures printed out. So if that's what makes you make the decision, that's what makes you make the decision. It's a coin flip sometimes, huh? That is a thing called life. Their next thing is when to take your engagement photos. Once you've got your photographer all picked out and your saved the dates to go, 6 to 8 months out can be a general time, or even a little bit more. 6 to 8 months in this world right now where you're venuing things and health can be a little bit uncertain with the global pandemic that we've had to deal with. All that can be quite flexible. You definitely can pick and choose and then maybe have to change later on down the road. Where to take your engagement photos, that is an awesome question. Choosing the perfect photo spot. Go with a meaningful location, or you can go with what your photographer picks out, or if you got a spot in mind, like, you know, first date, first place you met at, first place you saw each other, local park, which is normally in your walking routine. All of those are great choices. Run it by your photographer first. They'll scope it out, do some pre-planning. Like with me around Florence, South Carolina, Timberrod Park, I go to, and I've been shooting in that park since literally junior high, before I was driving. I was snapping stuff in that part, that with the family. Nobody was taking me there to take pictures of other people, but yeah, let me hold the camera that we might have had handy, the disposable, or maybe our old Polaroid camera was still running there. So yeah, and definitely in high school, I was going to that part. So I kind of got to lay the land, what time of the day to go, where we can stand for this and get that kind of shot. So all that stuff will come from pre-planning that you and the photog, definitely the photog, hopefully we'll get an opportunity to look at. Even just looking at Google Maps on the computer goes a long way with that. And to wrap it all up here, what to wear. You might be tempted to wear a new outfit, but definitely going with something comfortable is recommended, because if you feel comfortable and you're not used to modeling on camera, or I'm going to say acting. I also say camera weird sometimes. Notice that? Camera. Being comfortable, I think, is key. That new outfit, you can definitely rock it, but be kind of wary of things that might reflect colors a little bit much on your face. If you're wearing some high strap things, I've definitely had that situation. Earrings will reflect light sometimes, and boy, oh boy, that could be a little bit rough on the photos, having that weird blue, red that you didn't want. They go further into colors. I go into colors sometimes about what colors I will wear, because white can reflect, and sometimes I like a darker color, but situations like that, they're going to be case by case. There's no hard, fast rule on exactly what you should rock. Just know that's a good time to experiment. Also, with your wedding day makeup, rock them in your engagement session. I'm Diego from Photo17.com. The day you've dreamt about is here forever.